Diddy's own doctor just broke his silence, and the claims have the internet stunned. Private struggles, hidden pressure, and details nobody expected are coming to light, and the conversation around Diddy just took a serious turn fast.
A former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs speaking out in a new interview with new allegations about wild parties and use.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
Diddy's name just can't stay out the headlines, but this time it ain't just about lawsuits, RICO charges, or industry beef. Nah, the latest whispers hit way more personal, straight into his bedroom and his health. Word on the street is his own bedroom doctor just spilled the truth about what's been going down behind closed doors, and it's got folks looking at him sideways. See, rumors about Diddy carrying around an STD been bubbling for a while, but now the talk's getting louder since people noticed his physical decline. He's been showing up to court looking thinner, grayer, and drained. At first, fans thought it was just stress, losing money, and cutting back on the billionaire lifestyle. But insiders are saying it ain't no diet switch. The weight drop and his sick look come from something way nastier. Nurses been whispering his immune system looks shot, like he's fighting something he can't hide anymore. Court reports made things worse, exposing details nobody was ready for. Word is, years of drug abuse wrecked his system and even left him battling erectile dysfunction. And let's be real, people been talking about Diddy's freak-offs for years. From escorts to secret parties, everybody knew he lived reckless. Former assistants like Phil Pines described the scene as pure chaos. Phones locked away, doors bolted, security at every corner, and bodies laid out like candy. Gene Deal also spoke up, saying Diddy was deep into drugs, oiling himself up and wilding with no shame. That same lifestyle that once looked like power now looks like the reason his body's breaking down. His doctor allegedly said the long-term abuse wrecked his manhood, and that was before the nastier claims hit the court files. Supposedly, Diddy even bragged about pulling himself out at parties, only for people to clown him, saying it was smaller than a Tootsie Roll.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Now stack that with the violent side of his freak lifestyle, and it paints a darker picture. Cassie testified about the abuse. Dawn Richards said she saw him pick up a skillet during a fight with Cassie, and Carrie Morgan spoke out too. Then came that viral hotel hallway footage of Diddy dragging Cassie. It matched everything survivors had already described. People who used to laugh at the rumors stopped laughing once that clip surfaced. And when the feds raided his mansions, they found nearly 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but not one pack of protection. Imagine that. All those wild parties, no safety, just vibes, oil, and infections flying around. That discovery flipped the internet upside down because it matched the long-standing gossip about diseases spreading through his circle. Women have already stepped up saying they caught herpes from men tied to Diddy's crew. If herpes was floating around that easily, people started asking if HIV might also be in the picture. And then Jaguar Wright added gasoline to the fire. In a Real Life Productions interview, she said flat out, Diddy's been battling HIV for years, and he ain't the only one. According to her, there's at least 20 other industry names carrying it, and she even claims she got the list saved for her own show. Fans were shook. If Jaguar's telling the truth, then Diddy's story is just the start of a way bigger bomb waiting to drop on Hollywood. Suddenly, every celeb who's ever been tied to him started catching side eyes, and one of the main names dragged into the mud was Usher.
Craig Mack was the one that jumped Bad Boy off. And you know, got so bad that Craig Mack, who died from AIDS, that man, he got brainwashed so bad from Diddy and got done so wrong, the man went to South Carolina and joined a cult with his family until he died of AIDS a few years ago.
The Usher connection hit heavy because fans been side-eyeing that relationship for years. Back when Usher was just 13, he lived with Diddy in New York to get his career moving. At the time, he told Howard Stern it felt like an adventure. Fast cars, late nights, and wild experiences. But later on, he admitted it was curious and said straight up he'd never let his kids go through something like that. Those words came back to haunt him once Diddy's name started getting linked to STD rumors. Folks put two and two together, especially since Usher himself got sued in multiple cases where women accused him of passing herpes. When you line it up with whispers that Diddy was reckless at his parties, people couldn't ignore the dots connecting. What started as wild industry gossip now looked like a real pattern, and Usher was stuck in the middle of it. It wasn't just Usher's name either. The storm kept pulling in more people. Back in 2018, a man named Jonathan Odie made headlines for shooting up Trump's Doral resort in Miami. But when cops got him, instead of talking about the shooting, he went off about Diddy and Cassie. He claimed he was coerced into encounters with both of them and that he ended up catching herpes from the situation. At the time, people dismissed him as crazy. But now that Diddy's health rumors are all over the place, the internet dug those claims back up and started treating them different. His words don't look so far-fetched anymore, and fans are replaying that story with new eyes.
I believe that opioid addiction changed his whole life and changed who he was. He's quietly an addict. So is he responsible for some of the shit that he did? Because of his addiction, yes, he is.
Then Kim Porter's name came back in the mix, and that made things even darker. Kim wasn't just another ex. She was the mother of Diddy's kids, lived with him, partied with him, and knew the ins and outs of his world. Ever since her sudden death in 2018, rumors have swirled that something wasn't right. People whispered about what really showed up in her autopsy, and now insiders are saying there's evidence Kim was HIV positive before she passed. If that report ever leaks, it could destroy what's left of Diddy's legacy. Fans already question how she died, and if she was really infected, the next question is obvious. Where did it come from, and how deep was Diddy's role? That single document could flip his whole story upside down, and Kim's name wasn't the only one circling. Remember Craig Mack? He was one of the first big artists under Diddy after Flava and Yair went crazy. Craig eventually walked away from Bad Boy, found religion, and disappeared from the spotlight. In 2018, he died of heart failure tied to complications from AIDS. Before his death, Craig claimed people were after him and hinted at industry pressure. Fans are now looking back at his story, connecting it to the same dark cycle surrounding Diddy. It's got people wondering if Craig's fall was really just about health, or if it was linked to something bigger behind the scenes. By this point, the pattern looked undeniable. Every time Diddy's name popped up, so did stories of sickness, lawsuits, or suspicious deaths. From Usher's herpes cases to Jonathan Odie's testimony, from Kim Porter's whispers to Craig Mack's fate, the puzzle pieces painted a disturbing picture. And then you got Jaguar Wright out here saying she has a whole list of other infected industry players. Fans started asking, if Diddy's health has been compromised for years, how many more artists are carrying the same baggage and just staying quiet? The speculation reached a whole new level, and suddenly the downfall of one man looked like it could expose half the game. As the storm kept spreading, more names got dragged into the mess, this time the so-called boy toys. The street's been whispering for years that Diddy's luxury gifts, trips, and exotic vacations weren't just friendly handouts. Nah, they came with a price. Photos and old clips resurfaced of Diddy getting a little too cozy with rappers like Meek Mill, French Montana, and even YK Osiris. Fans said the energy dripping off those moments wasn't just brotherly love. It looked like something else was at play. Once the STD rumors and the bedroom doctor talk came out, people started revisiting those images, claiming they weren't reading too much into it the first time. On top of that, the testimonies against Diddy got darker. Cassie, Dawn Richard, and Carrie Morgan all painted the same picture. The freak-offs weren't just wild parties, they were abusive and violent. Cassie described being hit, Dawn said she saw him swinging a skillet, and multiple insiders confirmed the same reckless behavior. That viral hotel hallway clip of Diddy dragging Cassie only made it worse. It was proof in motion. Fans didn't need to imagine it, they could see it with their own eyes. And when the feds raided his mansions, what they found matched the rumors perfectly. Nearly 1,000 bottles of baby oil stacked up like a warehouse, but not one single box of protection. That discovery screamed recklessness, and people online joked that it wasn't a house, it was a biohazard. Women then started stepping forward, claiming they caught herpes from men connected to Diddy's inner circle. Once that started, HIV whispers got louder, because if herpes was spreading that easy, HIV didn't sound far-fetched. That's where Jaguar Wright came in again, saying flat out Diddy had been battling HIV for years, and she wasn't alone. She claimed she had names of at least 20 other stars in the same boat. She teased the list but kept it close, saying she was saving it for her own platform. Fans couldn't tell if she was bluffing, but they couldn't ignore her either. Every time people tried to call her a liar, some part of what she said eventually matched up with reality. And let's not forget the way this tied back to Diddy's empire. The man built his image as the king of bad boy, the mogul with champagne in one hand and models in the other. But now, his empire looked like it was built on abuse, disease, and manipulation. The lawsuits stacked up, the testimonies piled in, and even the health rumors started making sense. The glamorous playboy image had flipped into a cautionary tale. Folks online started calling him the fall of Rome in real time, a man who thought he was untouchable, now collapsing under the weight of all the dirt he left behind. Meanwhile, fans weren't letting the boy toy accusations slide. Old interviews, wild party stories, and resurfaced clips fueled endless speculation. Every time someone tried to defend Diddy, the internet just dropped another old video or picture saying the vibes were off. Even if nothing was proven, the sheer weight of receipts made it impossible to brush off. Add in the health whispers and the violent abuse testimonies, and suddenly Diddy didn't look like a mogul anymore. He looked like a man cornered by his own past. And as the feds continued to dig, the narrative only got darker. This wasn't about one man catching charges. It was about the whole industry being exposed. If what insiders and Jaguar Wright were saying was true, Diddy might just be the first domino in a line of powerful men about to get dragged into the light. By the time all these stories stacked up, Diddy's image was shattered. What once looked like the lifestyle of a music mogul now read like the diary of a man spiraling out of control. And the whispers about his health only made the fall feel even heavier. Fans who used to joke about his freak-off started connecting the dots. Weight loss, gray skin, low energy in court, all lined up with what insiders were saying. He's been carrying a secret illness. Some said it was advanced STDs, others pointed straight at HIV. And once Jaguar Wright threw gas on it by claiming he's been positive for years, folks didn't laugh it off anymore. They started treating it like an open secret in the industry. Then Kim Porter's story resurfaced and turned the drama into tragedy. She was more than just another woman in Diddy's past. She was the mother of his kids, his longtime partner, someone who shared his world. For years, fans questioned her sudden death, whispering that something about the autopsy never sat right. Now, word is, the real report showed she was HIV positive before she passed. If that document ever leaks, it could torch what's left of Diddy's empire. Because if Kim carried it, the next question is obvious. Who gave it to her, and what does that say about Diddy's world? Add in the timing of her death and the suspicion swirling around it, and suddenly the glossy bad boy family brand looks more like a crime scene. And don't forget Craig Mack, one of the first artists Puff pushed after Flavor in Your Ear. Craig disappeared into religion, warned people about industry demons, then died in 2018 from complications tied to AIDS. Before he passed, he even claimed people were after him. Back then, folks brushed him off. Now, his words feel like another puzzle piece falling into place. Fans are asking if Craig's downfall wasn't just about illness, but tied to the same cycle that's now haunting Diddy. One by one, names close to him either faded, broke, or ended up gone. And that ain't coincidence to the streets. At the same time, the so-called boy toys chatter kept bubbling. People pulled up old clips of Diddy and Meek Mill looking way too close, French Montana vacationing on his dime, even YK Osiris caught in the mix. What used to look like flashy friendships now got dissected as deals made behind closed doors. And when the feds raided his cribs and found nearly 1,000 bottles of baby oil with no protection in sight, the jokes online got vicious. Memes painted his parties as disease factories, and the whispers about infections spreading through his circle only got louder. By now, fans weren't just asking questions about Diddy, they were questioning the whole industry. If Jaguar Wright's claim about 20 more stars being positive is real, then this could be one of the biggest scandals hip-hop has ever faced. Diddy might just be the first domino, with more powerful names ready to fall once the truth comes out. Social media summed it up best. The whole industry needs to be tested. And when you look at the lawsuits, the testimonies, the abuse footage, and the health rumors all piling up at once, it's hard to argue. So what's left? Diddy's empire doesn't look like music and champagne anymore. It looks like a collapsing tower built on lawsuits, testimonies, and secrets finally catching up. Fans online are calling it one of the biggest downfalls in music history. Maybe it's karma, maybe it's the industry finally cleaning house, or maybe it's just the truth that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. Either way, the shine is gone. The so-called king of bad boy is now the face of Hollywood's ugliest secrets, and the world's watching to see how much more dirt spills next.